What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so going into last night's game against the Sacramento Kings, the Dallas Mavericks, Klay Thompson, his first year in Dallas after 13 seasons with the Golden State Warriors, 4 NBA championships with the Warriors organization. Of course, Klay, one of the top three-point shooters in the history of basketball, 2,697 made career three-pointers. His thoughts may have centered on one of the worst shooting games of his career, which came in his final game as a Warrior, the play-in tournament loss last year to the Kings, in which he shot 0 of 10 from the floor. Some of those misses were just awful from Klay. And he admitted that sometimes he thought about that performance. And I'm pretty sure he was motivated to atone for that atrocious game last night when the Mavericks played the Kings. In the first quarter, things didn't look too good for Klay as he went scoreless, but it quickly turned around when he exploded for 16 points in the second quarter.
Into that one. Here's Thompson looking for his first points, lets it fly, around and down. Finally, Klay Thompson makes a basket. He came over in the De'Aaron Fox trade in early February. Thompson starting to catch fire, perhaps. Back-to-back threes.
Their game plan offensively, they're taking care of the basketball. They're making the Kings play in traffic.
And Klay Thompson has the hot hand. He's hit 3 three-pointers now. Meanwhile, the Mavs this quarter, 5 of 6 from 3. Williams has 2 triples. Thompson with his fourth. Klay Thompson catching fire. Back here, Levine tried to hit Valanciunas, and it was picked off by Klay Thompson. Thompson gets all the way to the bucket. He's got 16 points, all coming here in the second quarter.
So you saw all the buckets he scored plus 2 free throws, 16 points in the quarter. He finished with 23 points in the game, and on 8 of 11 shooting, 5 of 7 from three-point range. And the Dallas Mavericks, without Kyrie Irving, with so much going on this season, you know, with the huge trade of Luka Doncic, which of course had Dallas Mavericks furious and almost ready to go to the Dallas Mavericks front office with tiki torches, just absolutely revolting, and you know, basically want to burn the building down. This was a good win. This was a good win, man, and they needed Klay Thompson's performance to win this game. Anthony Davis had an okay game. I think he had like 25 points or something. I think 27 points, 9 rebounds, 3 blocks. Was not that accurate from the floor. He's always had issues matching up with Domantas Sabonis, I've noticed. But this time, Domantas Sabonis did not have an efficient game himself. I think he was only 5 of 13 from the floor. I think he had a double-double, but he didn't dominate as he has in some games against Anthony Davis. And DeMar DeRozan had 33 points, but it took 28 shots for him to get those 33 points. And Zach LaVine, his former teammate in Chicago, had, I think, something around 17 points or something like that, but it wasn't enough. And the Dallas Mavericks were able to get the victory. P.J. Washington, I think, had 17 points. I think it was 17 points. Let me check. I wrote some of this stuff down. Yeah, he had 17 points on 5 of 15 shooting. You know, and with this victory, that means that the Dallas Mavericks will play, I believe it's, I don't know why I have sometimes I have these brain farts when it comes to play a tournament. I will have it figured out, and then the very next day I have to re-remind myself who they play. Because the format is just a little confusing, but I think they play the Kings have been eliminated, I believe. The Kings have been eliminated, so I think they play. Oh boy, they played I believe it's Memphis. I think they play Memphis on maybe Friday, whatever it is, Saturday. As far as the A spot, I believe it is. I believe that's how it is. I believe it's Memphis. But anyway, salute to Klay Thompson. You know what I'm saying? A good comeback game. I don't think Klay gets enough credit, man. You know, I noticed there's a lot of Klay haters out there who say that, you know, Klay is overrated. You know, Klay is not as good as people make him out to be. If Klay was on another team, he'd be, you know, just another good role player. You know, I don't know about that. You know, I think what it is that Klay is not a spectacular player. You know, he's not a flashy player. And, you know, he's basically, his game is basically comprised of movement, you know, catch and shoot, and, you know, smart, you know, pump faking, getting to his spots, you know, and in his prime, he played great man-to-man defense, and one-on-one defense, whatever you want to call it. And you know, he's not a great, spectacular athlete. He's not a great ball handler. He's not a great playmaker. He's not a great rebounder. He does have some limitations. You know what I'm saying? I get it. He's not a great all-around player, right? I don't agree with him being a top 75 player, but I do believe he's a Hall of Famer. And the reason why he's a Hall of Famer is because of his continued excellence in high-pressure situations in pivotal games year in and year out. Is he as consistent as he once was? No. He's not. Is he the player that he once was? No. Is he the defender that he once was? No. Absolutely not. You know, but the fact that this guy came back from an Achilles rupture and an ACL tear and is able to compete on an NBA level and still put up 14 points a game, still able to shoot 39% from three-point range, and still be a valuable contributing starting player, says a lot about this man's fortitude and love for the game. You know? Look, his father, Michael Thompson, was not a flashy player either. Wasn't a star, but he was a valuable piece for those late era Showtime Lakers teams. And Klay has, in my opinion, exceeded his father as far as his career is concerned. And one thing can be said, Steph Curry has never won a championship without Klay Thompson. And people are like, well, the opposite is true too. Well, yeah, it is. But the fact remains, Steph Curry has never won a championship without Klay Thompson. You know? But anyway, that's all I got to say about it. Tell me what you guys think.